Hong Kong. Midnight. A teenager stands before a door that isn't his. It is the South Korean consulate. If this door opens, he lives. If it remains shut, he is dead by morning. Just 24 hours prior, this 18-year-old math prodigy stood on a brightly lit stage, accepting a silver medal for the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Now, he is a fugitive, but he is not running from a prison sentence. He is running from a job offer. North Korea had designated him for their elite cyber warfare unit. The regime didn't want him to solve equations. They wanted him to hack banks, steal billions in cryptocurrency, and engineer the guidance systems for intercontinental ballistic missiles. He faced a lifetime in a bunker, executing the regime's darkest work. When the door finally cracks open, he whispers a single, dangerous sentence: "I am from North Korea. I want to defect." They pull him inside. He thinks he is safe. He is wrong. He is still on Chinese soil, and the geopolitical clock has just started ticking. To understand why a teenager would risk execution to escape, we must analyze the asset himself. 1998. Ri Jong-yeol is born in a city north of Pyongyang. From age 7, he is identified as a statistical anomaly. While peers struggle with basic arithmetic, Ri consumes entire curriculums. In North Korea, however, genius is not celebrated. It is weaponized. The state views talent as a natural resource to be extracted. Ri is funneled into Pyongyang's elite academy for gifted youth. This is not a school, it is a pipeline. Every friendship is monitored, every test score analyzed for utility. The best students become state property. By age 15, Ri is a dominant force in mathematics. By 16, he joins the national team for the International Mathematical Olympiad, IMO. For 4 consecutive years, he travels abroad, Thailand, South Africa, Colombia, Hong Kong, securing 4 silver medals. He is a quiet weapon, projecting prestige for a nation starved of it. But international operations carry a risk: contamination. The more Ri sees of the outside world, the more the regime tightens its grip. The turning point occurs in 2015. After returning from Thailand, Ri expects accolades. Instead, he detects a shift in the surveillance pattern. Senior officials begin interviewing his relatives and teachers. In the intelligence apparatus of Pyongyang, this signals one thing: selection. The rumors are confirmed within days. The government intends to bypass university and recruit him directly into a classified unit. Ri deduces the destination: the Reconnaissance General Bureau, RGB. This is North Korea's covert digital army. His future will not involve academic discovery. It involves Bureau 121, raiding foreign financial institutions to fund nuclear proliferation. The logic of his existence is brutal. He will be a human calculator locked in a windowless room, measuring his life in cyber attacks and monitored bathroom breaks. He has no right of refusal. When the party chooses you, your life ends, and your service begins. Faced with conscription into the shadow apparatus, Ri runs a final calculation. He must defect. But the variables are lethal. The borders are mined. The surveillance is total. Then the anomaly appears. The 2016 IMO is in Hong Kong. It is Chinese territory, yes, but it is a global hub with the South Korean consulate. It is also his final year of eligibility. This is his last mission abroad. Before deploying to Hong Kong, Ri breaks operational security. He informs one person, his father. A math teacher himself, the father listens as his son confesses treason. In a stunning breach of protocol, the father does not report him. Instead, he hands Ri $200 in foreign currency. This is a suicide mission for the father. Under North Korean law, defection triggers guilt by association. 3 generations of the family will be imprisoned or executed. Ri's father effectively signs his own death warrant to finance his son's freedom. Ri boards the plane with $200, a backpack, and the crushing weight of knowing he will never see his family again. July 2016. The Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. The North Korean delegation operates under strict lockdown. Passports are confiscated. Smartphones are banned. A handler monitors every movement. It is a hostage situation disguised as a math contest. However, Ri identifies a tactical weakness. The security is rigid but complacent. The North Korean minders are teachers, not commandos. They rely on fear, not physical restraints. Furthermore, the university campus is open. There are no armed guards, no perimeter fences. Ri refines his extraction plan. He cannot defect during the competition. The head count is too frequent. He must wait for the closing banquet. On July 16th, he wins his 4th silver medal. He smiles for the propaganda photos, concealing the $200 in his sock. The return flight is scheduled for 2 p.m. on July 17th. This creates a critical window. The handlers will be relaxed after the banquet, believing their mission is accomplished. At 2 hours, Ri initiates the escape. He lies in his bunk, fully dressed, shoes tied. When silence falls, he moves. He slips into the hallway. No cameras, no guards. He reaches the lobby where a security guard is dozing. Ri bypasses the checkpoint and exits the building. The humid air of Hong Kong hits him. He flags a taxi. Airport, he commands in broken English. As the campus recedes, the terror sets in. He is alone in a foreign city with no identification and no communication equipment. If he is intercepted by Chinese police, he will be repatriated and executed. If North Korean agents find him, he disappears. The sun will rise in 2 hours. Once his absence is noted, the hunt will begin. 4 hours. Hong Kong International Airport. Ri enters the terminal. He is a ghost, undocumented, and vulnerable. His plan hinges on a single assumption, that he can find a South Korean national. He spots the Korean Air logo. He approaches the counter and speaks the code words that change everything. "I am from North Korea. I need help." The staff supervisor freezes. Within minutes, the station manager is briefed. They move Ri to a secure location. This is a diplomatic crisis in the making. The manager calls the South Korean consulate. The diplomats on the other end are stunned. A defector claiming to be an Olympian. They verify the intel. It checks out. But then comes the hard reality of international law. The diplomats explain the rules of engagement. They cannot send a vehicle to extract him. If consular staff pick up a North Korean national at the airport, China could accuse South Korea of kidnapping. It would violate Hong Kong's sovereignty and trigger a massive incident. Ri must reach the consulate under his own power. They give him the coordinates: Far East Finance Center, 16 Harcourt Road. Ri is forced back into the open. He hails another taxi. This is the most dangerous leg of the journey. By now, the sun is up. The North Korean delegation has likely discovered an empty bed. Panic is spreading through their ranks. They will be contacting Chinese authorities, reporting a missing student. Ri watches the rear window, expecting to see a pursuit vehicle. Every red light feels like a trap. The taxi drops him at the skyscraper in the central business district. Ri enters the lobby, blending with the morning commuters. He finds the directory, Consulate General of the Republic of Korea, 5th floor. He takes the elevator. When the doors open, he sees the emblem, but the entrance is blocked by private security. Visiting hours have not started. Ri is exposed in a public hallway. Desperate, he blurts out his status in Korean to the guards. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, they usher him inside, past the metal detectors, and behind bulletproof glass. Consular officers rush to meet him. "I defected," Ri stammers, the adrenaline crash finally hitting him. He is physically inside South Korean territory, protected by the Vienna Convention. But geographically, he is trapped. The consulate is not a teleporter. He is surrounded by Chinese soil. The reaction is immediate. Hong Kong police, directed by Beijing, surround the building. They place plainclothes officers at every exit. They do not storm the consulate, that would be an act of war, but they establish a siege perimeter. No one enters or leaves without vetting. The consulate goes into lockdown. Ri is moved to a small, windowless storage room converted into a living space. The standoff begins. It will last 70 days. This becomes a three-way chess match between Seoul, Beijing, and Pyongyang. North Korea demands the return of their citizen, likely spinning a narrative that he was abducted by South Korean spies. South Korea works back channels to secure his safe passage. The deciding factor is China. Historically, Beijing views North Korean defectors as illegal economic migrants and deports them. But Ri is a high-profile asset. Sending a teenage math genius back to a gulag or a forced labor hacking unit would be a public relations disaster for China. Furthermore, in 2016, relations between Beijing and Pyongyang are strained. Kim Jong-un's accelerated missile testing has irritated Chinese leadership. Ri has no control over these high-level negotiations. He paces his small room, running on a treadmill to manage his anxiety. He plays video games offline. He worries about his father. The guilt is a physical weight. He knows the regime's counterintelligence protocols. When a target escapes, the family pays the price. By late September, the deadlock breaks. In a calculated diplomatic snub to North Korea, Beijing quietly signals that they will allow Ri to depart. They will not grant him refugee status officially, but they will facilitate his exit. South Korea issues a passport under a pseudonym, Lee Jong-ho. Hong Kong immigration grants a temporary visa. He is no longer a fugitive. On paper, he is just a tourist. The extraction is executed at night. Ri is moved from the consulate to an unmarked car, flanked by South Korean intelligence officers. Chinese plainclothes police shadow the convoy to the airport, not to arrest him, but to ensure North Korean agents don't attempt an assassination or abduction on the highway. At the airport, the tension is absolute. Ri approaches immigration with his fake passport. If the officer scans his biometrics and links him to the missing North Korean student, the deal could collapse. The stamp comes down. He is cleared. He boards the flight to Seoul. Only when the wheels retract does Ri Jong-yeol exhale. He has successfully navigated a minefield of surveillance, geopolitics, and luck. Upon landing in Seoul, Ri undergoes the standard defector debriefing. He is processed, questioned, and cleared. He adopts his new identity permanently. The transition is violent in its speed. He goes from a bunker mentality to walking the streets of a hypermodern metropolis. He enters Seoul National University, proving his genius was not a product of the regime, but inherent to him. However, the victory is Pyrrhic. Ri's defection humiliates the North Korean regime. In response, Pyongyang freezes its participation in the International Math Olympiad for 2 years. When they return in 2019, the security protocols are draconian. No student moves without a shadow. They will never lose another asset this way. Ri integrates into South Korean society. He drinks coffee, surfs the uncensored internet, and studies advanced mathematics. But he never speaks of his family. He publicly claims he planned the escape entirely alone, denying his father's involvement to protect them from the gulags. It is a necessary lie. One of his first acts of freedom was to sit at a computer and type North Korea into a search engine. For the first time, he saw his country not as the center of the universe, but as a dark spot on the map, viewed from the outside. Ri Jong-yeol escaped the darkness, but he left a part of himself behind. His story is a testament to the desperate lengths a human mind will go to solve the ultimate equation, the calculation of freedom. He avoided a life of cyber warfare, but he lives with the knowledge that in the zero-sum game of defection, his survival came at the cost of everyone he ever loved.